and custom designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer custom laser engraving services for a variety of products, including promotional items and corporate or personal gifts. With state-of-the-art equipment and a team of skilled designers, we can engrave intricate designs on virtually any material. Whether it's a special message, a company logo, or a custom design, Romika Laser Engraving will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise and exactly what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make your mark.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
The voice of Johnson County, JoCo Community Radio.
All right, Johnson County, welcome to the JoCo Voice. I'm your host, Mike Wilshire, and let me tell you something. I got a star-studded evening tonight. I got comedian Troy Yingst here in the studio with me. Say hey, Troy.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
I got Amber Fireball. You're going to tell us a Fireball story, too. Frandsen. I loved how you told me to say your name. You said Frandsen.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was it you said?
I said just say friends and family, then leave family off.
Frandsen. And there it is, right? And promoter Trent Hirth. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Good.
Good. Is that voice raspy as always your voice? Or is it, you didn't get sick, did you?
No, I did not get sick. It's always kind of this time of year, it starts going in and out.
In and out, right. Oh, we got an echo. One heck of an echo. Somebody got their phone turned up. Somebody got their phone turned up. If your phone's turned up, turn it down. All right, guys. So, kicking it off, we're going to skip the news tonight because nobody in Johnson County really did anything other than get drunk and slap somebody around. That's it. You've lived your whole life, in this neck of the woods, right, Troy?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm in South Fort Worth now, but it's 15 minutes from where I grew up.
Right. You grew up in Burleson, though.
Oh, yeah.
You went to Burleson High School?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I lived in Burleson my entire life up until my early 20s. And
right.
I'm still right down the road, basically.
Right. And your daddy is literally down the street from me. Your old pops is right down the road.
Yeah, you can catch him at Hoots about 4 days a week.
Right. at the right time to catch him or your brother. I ran into your brother and your sister-in-law, I think, once or twice there.
Yeah, I mean, they're up in Nebraska now, but whenever they're in town, they definitely pop in.
Nice. Okay, so jumping off with your stuff right away, I'm going to get to you. You've got the Panel Boys podcast.
That's correct. Panel Boys with a Z.
With a Z.
Boys.
Yeah. And that is you and your buddy.
Yeah, Mike DeLuna, he's the manager of Collected Comics off Altamira in Fort Worth.
Right.
And he and I have known each other for a long, long time. We worked at Spencer's Gifts together when I was younger.
That was where you went to get dirty stuff when we were young.
Yeah.
Right? It was Spencer's Gifts. I mean, the T-shirt your mother would never let you own, the coffee cup. I think they even sold dildos and stuff like back there.
That is absolutely correct. See, he used to manage a shop where he kept it dirty, and now he manages a shop where he keeps it nerdy. I'm saying,
got a choice. You got to go riding dirty, or you got to go riding nerdy, right?
Yeah,
that's the way it works. Awesome. Okay, so you got that podcast, and do you have any comedy gigs coming up?
Not. I do have some stuff booked, but it's pretty far out. Right now, I'm kind of just hitting mics, but I'm in a sketch group called Super Happy Fun Time Squad with my two very good friends, Hugo Gonzalez and Tim Davies. And keep your eyes peeled. We have a show coming up here pretty soon.
Yep.
We're talking to Dallas Comedy Club about booking a date here.
Here's something ironic about Tim Davies and Hugo. I met you through Hugo.
Yeah.
And we were all there the first night Tim Davies ever performed at Twilight.
Really?
I'm pretty sure all three of us were there. The very first time Tim Davies got up on the stage was at Twilight. He was a school teacher at the time. I don't know what he does now.
So that was a little bit before my time, like maybe 6 to 8 weeks. But then the first time I came up to Twilight, RIP, the place is no longer in business.
Right. You were the last one to perform there.
Yeah. It was a huge bummer.
Man, you killed it. You blew the doors off. And
they saw my set and they're like, we don't need to do this anymore.
I think it was the audience was laughing so hard and so enjoying it.
Yeah,
right?
No, that's what it was. It was too much fun.
Right. But Tim Davies, so yeah, I guess it would have been because that's whenever I met Hugo and John.
Yeah.
And then and so we're talking about Hugo Gonzalez and John Barry.
Yeah, they have a podcast together called Foolish House.
House. And I met them, and then I met you whenever I did their podcast. You were over at his house and we all rode together.
Yeah, that was like the third time in Fort Worth,
right,
in a really long time.
Right.
I started when I was young. Like I think I was 19, first time I did an open mic. But
now we're all these years later,
Well, I didn't do it for a long time. It was like kind of a hobby, I
Right.
didn't really treat it like anything serious. It was more just for fun. But I've known Hugo for almost 10 years at this point. When I saw that he was doing mics, I was just filled with green jealous rage and decided that I had to get back into it too.
Right. I will not be outdone by that little man and his big nipples. Right. He takes his shirt off sometime. You're like, what the heck, man? Put those things back on.
See, I don't know what you're talking about. Right.
You didn't see him take his shirt off at that.
No. I didn't.
Man, he is awesome. I guess somebody started telling him, I guess they were on a Burt Kreischer fix or something, and Hugo yanked his shirt off so quick, and he was like, come on, Mike, do it. No, nobody needs to see that. No one wants to see.
I think in 2 years, Hugo's calmed down a little bit.
Right. That was a little bit back. I mean, maybe,
he must have had a couple of cocktails,
Right. It was a good night. It definitely was. All right, Amber, you have the upcoming event. Which one of y'all wants to promote it? Who wants to talk about Hilltop Barn? Trent, she's pointing to you.
Oh, no.
You're a promoter.
Yeah. Tell us what you have. Cynthia, if you're out there, you can call in right now to that number and we'll get you on the air. But you have Hilltop Barn, you and Cynthia.
Correct. Cynthia with Texas Brew Radio. We've teamed up with them to provide some music and stuff to the area. So this Saturday, we've got jokes and strokes for folks.
JoCo live radio caller.
Oh, here we go. Here's Cynthia.
There she is. Hey, Cynthia, can you hear us?
What is up? It's Cynthia.
Hey, go ahead. Trent's talking, but you go ahead and promote it while you're called in. Tell us what you got this. Tell us what you got this Saturday.
Are you on speaker so I can?
Oh yeah.
Am I?
Everybody can hear you. Y'all can hear her, right?
Awesome. Yeah. Well, we have some awesome, exciting news. First off, Amber Fibril Frandsen. I don't know if you guys talked about it yet or not, because I've been spamming all of the groups around the country with the event so everybody can hear what we got going on. But she won. She was our second runner-up, tied with Bad Boy Leroy, and she's got an amazing sound, awesome talent. We're using the Hilltop Barn to kind of provide a haven for our artists, mental health awareness. We're supporting comedy, music, nonprofits, and really it's just a good, positive place to go have fun. A lot of people are just over the bar scene as much as I am. And it's not like that. It's a private wedding venue that just offered us a space to fulfill our vision. And we're so thankful. We have you, of course, Mike. Thank you so much for coming out to our events. It really does mean a lot that you come out and dedicate your time to helping us get it off of the ground. This is a community event. We have dropped our tickets down to $5 because we're not trying to make the community go broke. We're here to support it. We're here to bring big things. We have a lot of amazing people helping us. I just met with Dina Wood and Clarksville Creative Sound last Saturday down in Fort Worth, and they stopped their entire show production to sit in the dressing room with me for 30 minutes and listen to our vision and ended in a prayer circle. And I can tell you guys, but this is something that you're going to want to be involved in. We have a lot of amazing things going on. We're in the baby phases, but it's just like, and everybody keeps telling me to quit saying this, but it is like a party at your grandma's house. Bring your pajamas. If you don't feel like dressing up, you don't have to. We're just a good group of amazing people who all have, similar goals for the future and being the positive change that we can be in the world, that the world needs. So $5, 8 o'clock. The doors open this Saturday. I'm excited.
Heard it from Cynthia
Born and
herself.
Bred radio show, Outlaw Television Network, Canyon Star TV. I think the official Texas music chart might be there. There's going to be a lot of media.
We're going to be doing interviews from the Custom Sheds by Keith little booth that he brings out, our portable studio, Big Blue. And if anybody want to get on the air, want to get on the radio, give me a holler. Just stick your head in there and interrupt us for a second, and we'll let you come in and do an interview.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even feel like it needs to even be an artist. Like, artists absolutely come out for $5. You get to see comedy show. There's multiple comedians and songwriters and just really enjoy a tranquil environment. Plus your $5 entry gets you a vote to vote for your favorite charity, and a charity of choice is going to get a percentage of the proceeds from the show. So
cool.
What I was saying is, like, if they're business owners, stop in and say, "Hi, I'm Mike from ABC Towing, and I'm glad I came out to support the songwriters."
Sure.
We want to support the people that are supporting us. And I don't know if you guys have an issue with that because it's not my radio.
Nope.
But
plug it. It's the JoCo voice. You say whatever you want. All right. We're going to let you go now and get back to the show. Thank you for calling in, Cynthia.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right. How do now the phone? I don't know how to turn everything off, right? It didn't light back up. I hope everything's good. All right, Trent. So
Yes.
you've got this show.
They're correct.
And then you have what else? I mean, you're got your hands in pudding everywhere.
Yeah, that's correct. Also, I've got coming up on March 16th. It's Luck of the Slam Rock. It's a wrestling event. It's actually kind of a wrestling and a rock event. I've got a rock band coming on right after the wrestling. We're also trying to put together during the during the day before is a little bit of a vendor show, get some people out there and buy merchandise or whatnot. So
this is at the Hilltop.
This will be at the Hilltop, yeah. So any vendors.
How much is it for vendors to enter into the show?
That I'm working. Yeah, that I'm working on. Yeah, I don't have that exact.
That's going to be the first question every
absolutely,
vendor I know is going to reach
absolutely.
out and ask. And is it inside the building or is it going to be outside?
It'll be outside, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. The amount of people I'm wanting to see out there, it's definitely going to have to be outside.
Right.
Outside event, but there'll be plenty of parking, and it'll be actually. I'm looking for it to be a great show. I'm actually going to be
awesome.
Probably,
now we get
in the
to
mix
pick
with
on. Now we get to pick on Amber.
What you got?
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, I'm ready. Heckle me, boy. I got the guitar ready and everything. Hey, go ahead and lead us in with one of your songs and let us hear something and play as much as you want and stop when you're ready.
All right. I'll do that. Well, so, I can't have a name like Amber Fireball Frandsen and not have a Fireball song. So, back a few years ago, started getting heckled about keeping Fireball up on stage with me when I was performing. So during COVID lockdown, I was bored out of my mind. So I wrote this song as a joke, and it's turned into one of my favorites for everyone. So this is the Fireball song. She walked in the barroom all dressed to the nines. I guess I was thinking she'd order white wine. She was pretty and perfect, lovely and fair, sophisticated with big Texas hair. She went to the bar stool, sat down with a smile, straightened her collar, then thought for a while. With every eye on her like the belle of the ball, the whole room went silent when we heard her call. Fireball, can you pour me a shot? Fireball, give me all that you've got. Come on out by the first round. Fireball picks me up when I'm feeling down. Before we all knew it, Fireball lit her fuse. She let down her hair, kicked off her shoes. She climbed up on the bar, so carefully started swinging those hips like Elvis Presley. She wanted to dance, she wanted to twirl. Asked the boys in the band, do you know any Merle? She sang Mama Tried, and the bottle let me down. Threw money at the waitress, then called for a round. Fireball, can you pour me a shot? Fireball, give me all that you've got. Come on, I'll buy the next round. Fireball picks me up when I'm feeling down. There you go, little tidbit of Fireball.
Awesome. I'm over here trying not to mic clip anything, and I'm screwing up anything and everything that I'm touching. But man, you play well, you sing well.
Thank you.
I love the song. I'm not much on Fireball. I know that it helps with the voice. What was it Dean Martin did? It was apple juice, I think, or something. Everyone always thought he was drunk. And Jerry Lewis was like, he was never drunk. He played it, but he had apple juice because it helped his voice.
Coats your throat.
Coat your throat. That's it. And a little bit of cinnamon helps, right? Give you a little bit of
a little bit of liquid courage too, right?
Now, you have a comedy story, and I want you to tell what you told us in the green room there. I want to hear your comedy story.
All right. Well, let me just say, Mike Frandsen, if you're listening, you need to put your fingers in your ears right now. All right. So I was on a road trip with my husband and my oldest son. We were going to go see my younger son perform, and we were driving along and just chit-chatting. And I'd had this idea in my head for a while, and I was like, that was a good time to tell my husband about this. And I said, I've been thinking about this, and I'm considering trying it out. I write comedy songs. I have, besides Fireball, I have a lot of funny songs. And I said, I'm thinking about doing something kind of similar to Tim Hawkins, that kind of thread, where I get up and I tell like the true funny stories of my life, and, don't really have to write jokes because I have funny crap happen to me all the time. And then I'll tell a little bit of my stuff, make people laugh, write or sing some of my funny songs. And I think I want to maybe do some stand-up music comedy mixed in. And I tell the whole thing, probably talked for a solid 10 minutes. And when I got done, I said, well, honey, what do you think? And he goes, you'd be good at the song part. And
you met your first comedy critic sitting in the seat.
Heckling me in the passenger seat. And after he said that, I said, well, you know what, honey, if I ever do stand-up comedy, that's going to be my first joke right there, that one.
And I was telling her she needs to lead off with that joke.
Yeah.
And then that's a callback to every joke you tell afterwards. You need to go, well, I'm pretty good at the song part. Hold on, here we go. There's another comedian I've seen he has a guitar and he gets up there and he performs. It's not Tim Hawkins, but Tim Hawkins is great. Tim Hawkins has the Hello Starbucks, my old friend, for anyone who doesn't know, and he does inappropriate songs you shouldn't sing at a wedding and like all these different things. And he's really, really talented, amazing guy. But this other guy got up there with the guitar and he said, this song's called No Wait. And then so he starts strumming and then he goes, no, wait, hold on. And then he starts playing the song. No, wait, hold on. He goes, my brother taught me that song. It was his first song that he learned how to play. I guess it's first song everyone learns how to play whenever they learn the guitar. All right. So you've been in the business 30 years, right?
Long time.
I mean, we're not supposed to say how long we've been doing this, right? I've been doing comedy for 30 years. I'm 50. I just turned 50. And I can tell you the first comedy show I ever did, you could have drowned a child with the sweat that was coming out of my hands. I mean, it was just, I mean, do you get nervous when you get up on the stage now, or is it home still?
I do. I actually still, I've been singing in front of audiences for 30 years. I'll be 50 in August.
Yeah.
And I have raging stage fright, but nobody knows it unless I tell them, or if you're standing close enough to see the beads of sweat running down my head or see my clothes trembling, right?
Well,
but I actually have raging stage fright, but I just don't let it show.
Now you're the same off stage as you are. I mean, like here talking with us, you're the same person you are here in the room. It's not an act.
Pretty much.
And Troy, you're the same way. I mean, I mean, I met Patton Oswald, and off stage he is awkward. Like it's difficult.
I get that.
And
that
we have friends that are in comedy. I'm not going to name drop anyone, but we have friends that when they're off the stage, it's a total different person. That's a polished, refined act. And that's something I wanted to put out there is like both of you as a comedian and you as a performer, what you see is what you get. It's not an act. It's not, got backstage passes to just see George Strait one time, and we did not get to see him because George Strait does not see anyone. They just let us go back there and drink some of his liquor.
All right.
That was back there,
I'll take it.
Yeah, it was at the very least, right? So any horror stories from the stage? Any horror stories of stuff that's happened?
Goodness. I mean, I got a lot. I told you about a guy heckling me.
Oh,
and saying that I was singing too loud because the singer's for sure in control of the sound, right?
Mhm.
And so I just walked over with my microphone and was like, well, let me see you do it, dude. And so I had a drunk guy fall into me at this one joint I played. I was right by the door. People were going in and out to my left the whole time. And a guy was so drunk, he fell into me. There was kind of a podium just off my left, and he fell into the podium and into my back and shoved me forward and punched my mouth into the microphone, made my lip bleed. I didn't miss a note. I kept going.
Yeah.
I just kept on singing.
The show goes on.
The show goes on. We've blown the power many times at venues, and I've got such a big, loud voice. I just kept singing anyway without the power. And actually, it was the biggest moment of the night. People loved it. And, but it starts out as a horror story, right? So
Jobst, what was his foot? He tore the Achilles.
Achilles before the day of him coming to the event.
So he's up there on the stand. I mean, we got pictures of it.
Yeah.
Boot like the size of Texas on his foot. Probably taking God knows what for the pain because it was torn completely. Got up there, performed.
Yep.
We lost power. He kept performing. Like everything that could go wrong did go wrong. It was 8 degrees outside. And we had a blast. If anyone missed that show,
yeah, absolutely.
If anyone missed that show, Keith stayed up past his bedtime. He's up till Keith's probably in bed right now. He goes to bed at 7:30 at night.
I think I had everyone staying up past their
bedtime. It was late when we got out of there,
and we ended up actually also having Trinity King.
She
came up there and or she got there and sang, and it was funny. She was, we were sitting there. She's like, "Yeah, I'm a singer in this," and I'm like, "Good." Because I'm going to make you
you're up next. Right?
Yeah.
Well, she's like, what? So Trinity came on my show. So how I started off the relationship with Trinity and Babby Sue was Trinity went through MacGyver's one night and handed out a little pamphlet of stuff that she that she was earning sponsorships for rodeo and
absolutely. Yeah.
And so, instead of mowing lawn, she's going to go out there with her guitar and perform and sing. So she comes in to MacGyver. I said, well, I'll put you on the radio show. So the night of y'all's thing, I had said, okay, I reached out to her because I hadn't heard anything yet. I said, look, are you paying attention to the stuff that's going on Facebook? I'm like chewing her out like a dad on cell phone, texting her because you need to be at this. And she goes, well, I'm a little short on fun. You didn't hear what I said. You're a singer. You need to be at this. Get to this show. I will take care of getting you in. You just get to this show. And sure enough, y'all got up there and what did she sing? She sang, I'm drawing a blank.
I know exactly what
Babby Sue's probably listening. She'll text in here.
Yeah,
in a minute.
Was this the same venue?
Yeah. Yeah. And it was all in one night. And I mean, it's all about
that out, man.
It's all about networking.
Yeah.
It's all about come out there and see it. It's at the Hilltop Barn. It's there in Cleburne. It's all about it. It's a Saturday night. So, unless you're performing at a big club, it'd be worth coming out there because she has 2 or 3 comedians perform and we had room for more.
Yeah.
If I would have known that there was room for more at the time, I was out there doing interviews. I'd have went up there and did 5 minutes at least, and tried to do something. But we had a good time. And if there'd have been more people there, we'd have probably still been partying right now with it.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't see that as often around here. I mean, I think that some of the stuff kind of stays separated, but I I don't know. I like the idea of a variety show. A little bit of this and that. You know?
Yeah. And I would like just a show in
Yeah.
general that you could go to. I mean, we've got theaters in Cleveland. We've got places that they could do that, and they just haven't been working it. And comedy and music and everything's changed since COVID. I mean, the big elephant in the room is people don't go out anymore.
Mhm.
They'd rather stay at home and watch TikTok. And I'm the total opposite. I'm going nuts. I work in a basement all day long at UT Southwestern. And I can tell you at the end of the day, I walk out like a zombie and I'm like, people, brains, must eat brains. You know, I need you to talk to me and tell me something about anything because you're just stuck down there. It's just me and two other guys. And it's like being on a submarine or something, like being in an airplane. You're just there, the
Yeah.
three of you all day long.
Lockdown was hard on extrovert. I mean, it's hard on everybody, but it was hard on the extroverts like me. When you know, I perform in front of people all the time, and all the venues closed.
So
and-
all your money was gone.
Oh yeah.
You're a promoter. All your money's gone.
Yeah, and
We
well,
have jobs. We
yeah.
have daytime jobs that we
Mhm.
use to support us. But any forward motion you had with comedy,
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of
did it right
on
after.
that. Yeah, I kind of pumped the brakes on that anyway. But I worked supply chain at a hospital during COVID, so I
wow,
was working 60-hour weeks,
right,
like
nonstop
losing my mind.
because you were.
Yeah,
They needed everything they could get.
yeah, we're sitting around waiting for a delivery of 4 boxes of gloves at 1 a.m. because we're being transferred from a different facility, but you can't leave until they get there.
So I was in college, the last like 3 months of college, COVID hit in 2020. And, I'd gone 20 years in the military, retire, get out. I'm the oldest student they've ever seen at UTA. And then like people were walking around going, it's been nice knowing you. You're going to die. You're
Goodness.
so old. So sad. And I'm like, my parents are still alive. What's wrong with y'all? Like, I'm not dying. I got the triaminovirus from the, military. I got that shot in the butt that hardens up like beeswax. They call it the peanut butter shot. I don't get sick. And knock on wood, I did not catch COVID the whole time. I've never caught it. I've never tested positive for, even the being asymptomatic or anything. And I attribute that because the military, I was exposed to probably everything over all these countries I went to. But yeah, people were walking around like having my eulogy and everything. We've already planned the speech out for your death, Just walk up to you singing Melissa, or what's the other one? The one with the shaking dogs in the arms of an angel.
yes.
When you see them dogs shaking,
yeah.
you're like, who was the director of this commercial? He's like, this one's not miserable enough. Go get me another one that looks more miserable than this one.
Don't feed them for 4 days before we shoot.
Right,
Make
right.
everyone cry.
Like, go find a teamster and get him to come in here and just bait the crap out of this dog for 5 minutes, and then we'll start shooting. I could watch, UFC. I can watch wrestling, watch all that. Boy, that commercial's on for 3 seconds. I am looking for the remote so fast.
One good thing did happen to me because of COVID. I mean, a few good things, but one in particular. So I did lose all my gigs. Venues shut down, no more gigs for me. And so I had a friend of mine, she saw a post on Facebook about this young lady who was just standing at the end of her driveway with just a karaoke machine singing to her neighborhood. And my friend, her name's Dana, she was like, hey, Amber, why don't you come sing in my driveway? I live in a cul-de-sac. My neighbors, they can all sit in their yards and their driveways and such. And at the time,
I would have been there in a heartbeat.
At the time, I really didn't play guitar because I didn't need to, because I was in a trio and the guys played guitars and there was no need for me to play. And I hadn't touched a guitar in years. So I spent a few days putting together some 3-chord songs and make it as easy on myself as possible. And I sat on the end of her driveway for an hour. I never said one word about money. I never said a word. I didn't put a tip jar. I was just there to get my performance fixed, and they were just there to get their out of their house fixed. And when I was done singing, I thanked everyone for coming. It was packed out there, all up and down the street. It was like an altar call at church. They just came up and started giving me money, me money. And I walked out of there with hundreds of dollars that night. I called up a buddy of mine because we had tried to do like an online live stream and it didn't go. And I said, new idea. And we started doing these driveway concerts. That was what we called it. And we were double and triple booked every weekend from early March until the summer when it was too hot to play outside anymore.
Awesome.
And
all right, we got to go to commercial, guys. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Everyone stick around.
you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
You're listening to JoCo Community Radio.
All right, Johnson County, we're back. I'm sitting here with the mic keyed up, and I'm like, I gotta do the commercial first. Hold on. So, JoCo Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneInJoCo.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch, and the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store, check out our lineup and more. JoCoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Next Level Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844-TEX-HAIL. That's 844-839-4245. Be sure to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take it back over to Amber. Take us out with a song, please. What's wrong? I got the wrong mic keyed up. I'm sorry.
No problem. So this is actually what I like to call it now, my award-winning song. This is one of the songs I became second runner-up in the songwriting competition the other day at Horse Hall. And you can find this on all the streaming platforms. I released this fall. This is called Favorite Kind of Song. There's two old pickup trucks parked out by the lake. An Oklahoma boy and a Texas girl sitting on a tailgate. They got a bottle of whiskey and their daddy's old guitars, sitting on a boat ramp all night long, singing to the stars. They're gonna change the world with their little songs. They believe love will last forever, and the road goes on and on. They're dreaming of the lighter swaying, everybody singing along to their starlight. Feels right, everything I do tonight. Won't let go till you hold me tight. Stay up till the morning light, just you and me. Favorite kind of song, just you and me. Favorite kind of song. Just a little bit there of that one.
Awesome.
That's favorite kind of song.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah. All right, Trent, you got to get around there your seat so you can tell everybody your next one. You had a story you was going to tell us, or I don't remember what it was. If you don't bring the house down on us, did y'all hear that?
I'm trying not to.
That's Trent's muscles that hit the table. That was a solid man right there. That was all. Oh man, right? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Not a problem. Now, we were talking earlier about just COVID stories, and whenever COVID hit, right when everything was getting shut down.
Mm-hmm.
I remember walking around to, just the different restaurants and bars. I'd order a tea, and fortunately at the time I had some, I was doing pretty well or whatnot, so I give them $100 tip. I'm like, you guys are screwed. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I ended up actually, right when they kind of came up with the 6 foot, 6 foot apart and everything, I ended up hiring Josh Mather. He plays, he used to play a lot here locally in Burleson, to have our own little private online deal. So I invited 6 people at 6 chairs, 6 feet apart,
right,
3 fire pits, and it was a great time. It was raining and everything, and hitting off the tin roof. Great video.
Right.
He played for like 3 hours or whatnot, but otherwise, what is everyone going to do?
I mean, a lot of people, it was rough. It was rough for a performer. I mean, I'm sure that I know it was rough for comedians because I mean, those outdoor shows, you're sweating already to begin with, and you get up there and do an outdoor show, and it's 104 degrees in Texas. I know that I was sweating like it was going out of style when it was over and done with. Troy,
What's up?
Got tonight, Mad Hatter. You gonna hit it or 1851?
So I know it'll be at 1851, but I'm gonna do my best to get Mad Hatter. It just depends on what time because I'm in Burleson right now. I got to get to Arlington by 8, and then hopefully back to downtown by 9:30. So yeah, we're trying to hit that up.
Jordan
was doing Mad Hatter,
Who's
but
doing it now?
Zach
Robinson?
Oh my God.
Stato?
No, Zach Rippey. Yeah, he's hosting again. But Jordan now hosts Mad Hatter and Richardson on Thursdays.
Oh, okay.
So-
And I knew he was doing something with a Mad Hatter. I didn't know there was one in Richardson also.
But Jordan also hosts the oh crap, I
He's
just forgot the name of
everywhere.
the brewery. He hosts another show on Tuesday that's right off of Main Street.
Who's hosting 1851?
Kales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 1851 was fun. I love 1851.
We've done those character shows up there that are a good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the Disney one. There was a Marvel one. The last time was, of course, I'm the one with the beard, so I had to be Santa Claus. But
right.
Do a set in character. Those are
I'm
always
growing a
fun.
white beard, so I can probably do Santa next year. My beard is white as all get out.
You know what? I won't be sad to not have to paint that crap into my beard again.
Right,
So I'll
right.
pass the torch to you next time.
My little brother, his mother-in-law owns like a Real Beard Santa company, or they work for it or something, and it's like Real Beard Santas. And it was like at Christmas time to work for them, you got to have a white beard. I go around there and she's like looking at me going, yeah. I'm like, not driving back down to Houston for this.
Those guys make a ton of money.
I know,
just
right?
doing that for a couple weeks out of the year.
Right. I want to do the Santa photo shoot. I'd grow my beard out for the Santa photo shoot if it was like a bunch of, models doing, like the bikini Santa costume, the bikini Santa calendar or something, this is the perfect body, the perfect look for it. Right.
I always love those ones where you see it's like 4 like heavy metal goth chicks like sitting around Santa Claus, but they're all like, like thumbs up.
Yeah. They're so happy that they're around Santa and they get to, yay, during that time, he thinks I'm good. He thinks I'm well behaved, right?
I have a picture similar to that, except for I wasn't dressed up as Santa. They were dressed up as Santa girls, but I'll have to find
There
them.
you go.
Yeah, heck yeah. I got some of those pictures like with the cheerleaders, like the Texans cheerleaders or something. And then you find out later that they were like the B team cheerleaders. They're just the models they hire to go. The real cheerleaders are off training doing sit-ups, or they got them mushing around, the parking lot, getting their tans painted on, and got them going around the parking lot carrying harnesses and flipping tires so that they stay in shape or something. These are just the anorexic girls that they pay $50 to go out and sign autographs type of thing. Yeah, that was a ripoff. I want the real Santa action.
So I got a little bit of an interesting tidbit for you.
Okay.
Did you grow up in Burleson?
No.
No?
I grew up in Houston.
Okay.
North Side, Spring.
So I graduated from Burleson High School in 2009, and one of the things that got me into stand-up in the first place was I worked for MTV for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
They filmed a show at Burleson High School that I was on called My Life is Liz. It had 2 seasons.
Mhm.
It was going to be 3, but it got canceled for like Jersey Shore or some crap.
My Life is what?
My Life is Liz. It was a short-lived show that was filmed at Burleson High School.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so
I did not know that.
Time
during
to
the
consult the Googles, right?
do what?
Right.
I'm gonna Google that.
That's
My
awesome.
life is
I wanna
Liz.
Look for you. I want to see a little. I want to see a little Troy before the beard. And
No, I had a beard.
Yeah.
I really
I
don't.
think he was born. You two guys were
beard.
born
Yeah.
with beards. They were like,
Do what?
You had a beard in high school?
Yeah, I had a
That's
goatee.
Cool. So did
Ah.
I. I told you I'm good at the joke part.
not me, man. I grew when I went in the service. I had 3 pieces of peach fuzz hanging off of my chin. I went in at 17 years old, and they made me shave every day. And now this bush grows on my face, and you got like 5 o'clock shadow at noon.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, it's white, so I mean, now that it's growing out, there's a little bit of gray, a little bit dark in there, but most of it's white. So I can't grow the goatee because that's the whitest part.
Yeah.
And I look like Father Time. I mean, I look like Wally the Walrus off of Woody Woodpecker, that old
Yeah.
face, that, and now, so I have to grow the whole beard out, or else it would be. But you're on that My Life is Liz.
Yeah, and we filmed the second season. Part of it we filmed in New York, and they put us up in one of those like long stay hotels or whatever, that people rent out when they're there for business or whatever. The first open mic I did was, and we were talking about like stage fright and stuff. I still get it pretty much every time.
Sure.
In fact, I will be upset or concerned the moment I don't feel a little bit scared about standing on stage. It's good to use nervous energy, But I was 19 and I had that hubris, like just not afraid of anything.
Right.
I did my first 2 mics there and then didn't do it for a really long time. And then 2 years ago is when I really came back to it.
New York's
in a serious
rough.
way.
New York's rough to perform anything.
I didn't do poorly. I mean, it was just, I wasn't there long enough to really get into it, but I did get to go to a couple of like shows at the UCB and stuff like that. And, as a kid, but I met like Horatio Sands from SNL and stuff, and got to spend like a little bit of time with these people that, were lateral or in one way like connected to the business.
His jokes didn't age well, did they? Poor
What?
Horatio, I think he got in trouble for something.
I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't
no
tell
idea.
you either, but it's something, And it's funny the things that people do get in trouble for, that you're like, what did he say? And they said the word, and I'm like, that's in the dictionary. Like, was he reading Webster's dictionary? I mean, like, what are you talking about? Like,
Well,
it just
watch an SNL sketch from like 1995.
oh my
It's
god,
it's rough, dude.
watch the Chevy Chase Richard Pryor SNL episode
God.
with the job interview where you're like, this job. Watch Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a
Jokes
great
in that,
movie.
Absolutely.
great movie.
Smokey and
Some
the
of the
Bandit
jokes
rules.
did not age very well.
It's to be expected, though. I mean,
Yeah, there's so many things that I tell people all the time. I'm like, look, man, if it's funny, it's funny. There's nothing we can do for you. If it's funny, it's funny. It's not my fault that you don't find humor in everything that's out there. You know what I mean?
well, no matter what it is, you try to. I think people don't really look at things with context anymore. Like if you think about when it was made, it not only was it acceptable, it was normal.
Right.
So like,
right.
Keep that in mind when you go back.
What's
on
the
media and
new
stuff
one
like
that they just made where it's like the anti-woke comedy where they were like, it was one of the ones where they're like, I guess they make a baseball team or a football team or a track team or something. I don't know. And instead they have like people with the wrong gender or whatever doing it. And that was the whole premise of the show, was to be as offensive as I guess they could.
You lost me, man. I haven't heard of this before.
A friend of mine was telling me about it.
Is
I'm
it like a TV show?
I think it went to the movie theater.
Oh, okay.
Whatever it was.
That's surprising.
I didn't get to see it, and
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I mean, like, I don't go to the movie theater. I'm like freaking 50 years old, man. They ain't got a movie out in a long time that I've wanted to see.
Oh, you didn't want to see an 85-year-old Indiana Jones out there? Like,
No,
Oh,
no. There was one called Otto with Tom Hanks.
that was supposed to be pretty good.
I can tell you this right now. I know nothing about that movie at all, but from the previews of that movie, I can tell you that he dies in that movie. Everything, spoiler alert, it looked like he dies in that movie. And I'm like, I'm not going to see a movie where it's all feel good and lovey dovey. I saw The Champ when I was young, and Ricky Schroeder there next to John Voight. Wake up, Champ. Wake up, Champ. We got to go home. No, I cried through movies before. I'm not going to go watch some guy find the love of his life or meet this family that he wants to be grandpa to and then die. You're like,
well, nothing could beat Never Ending Story. The horse, nothing.
Oh, dude.
I mean,
Oh.
we're all still like,
That's gnarly.
Yeah, all these years later, right? And every time I see like a little pick-a-poo dog, I think of that dragon in the Never-Ending Story. I see that
Falcor.
That's it. Every time I see a little Pekingese, I'm like, flying through the air. I think of Falcor and all that stuff that went on with that one. All right, so you've got a funny song. What's your funniest song that you do? What's your Tim Hawkins?
Well, Fireball's pretty funny. You know, I didn't sing the whole thing, but it
is funny.
It
but
ends
they
with
gotta,
it ends with some funny stuff, and I get to say,
people
"Oh
got to
wait, I
come
might
to the
hurl."
show to get Fireball. They got to
Yes.
come to the show.
Yeah.
I think one of the funniest songs I've ever heard is who's the blues guy that sings the one "It's a Great Day to Whoop Somebody's Ass"? That is one. You never heard it?
No, I don't think so.
My God, that song is one. If you've just ever had that moment, like that day where your cheese just slipped off your cracker, you know, I don't know if you ever, I was on an airplane one time and I saw a guy just lose it. And in my head, while everyone else was afraid and holding their purses up in front of them and just scared, I'm thinking in my head, I would like to hit rewind on his day and go back to the beginning and watch it from the beginning. Like, what happened? Did the alarm go off late? Did he spill coffee on himself? Like, his suit was like 3 sizes too small whenever he went to put it on. He was like, I just wonder what his day was like leading up to it.
Got the divorce papers.
Right. And
what's that movie? Is it Fallen with
yes,
Michael Douglas?
Michael Douglas, where
Falling
it's just
Down.
Falling Down.
Yeah, that's
and
a
it's
great
just
movie.
one long bad day, and you're just, and I was with the kids one time and they saw this homeless guy, like he was arguing with a light pole and he was in like,
light poles are assholes.
Well, I know, right? They hit you all the time. They come out of nowhere.
Indignant,
Right.
I'm so bright.
He was arguing with it, and he had like on Uggs, and he had like a bathrobe, like the Big Lebowski or something.
Yeah.
And the kids were like, "That man is so sad." And I'm like, I am about one bad day away from being that man. I can see myself just, that's it. I'm done.
I've had it.
When you want to throat punch the people.
Right.
Well, so we were talking about COVID quite a bit tonight. COVID was good for my songwriting. I wrote the Fireball song. I wrote a couple of parodies, and one of them, it didn't age well because, when everything opened back up, what I wrote about, it's not funny anymore, I guess. In hindsight it is. But I wrote about how everything's shut down. So the Hank Jr. song, Country Boy Can Survive. I wrote a parody and I said, a Texas girl can survive. And I'm like, look, I got Netflix and Hulu and Disney. I got chocolate and wine and bacon. And, I'm going to be fine. And, you people need to quit buying up all the toilet paper. And if we run out of food, we got Spam and so on. But I go in and when I would perform it live, I'd say, okay, now ladies, y'all are going to love this next verse. And I would talk about how I can't get my nails done. I can't go get my hair done. I can't. And I'm like, but on the upside, my beard's coming in nice, right? And so I would sing that song out at those driveway concerts and get all the laughs in all the right places. And so that's probably one of my funniest. I've got another one that I wrote called Rent.
Right.
And it's a woman singing to a man and, spouse or live-in boyfriend, whatever. And she's like, you're just here to pay rent. I'm sick of you. And I can't stand the look of your face. I can't stand the way you talk. I can't, when it comes to hitting the spot, you missed it by a mile and so on and so on. And it's just, I think I'm good at the funny parts.
I love
too.
it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's good. I think you're good at the funny parts. You made us laugh, and we're comedians. We don't laugh at anything. If you ever go to an open mic, the whole time the guys are up there, it's quiet as a church in there. Only person that laughs is maybe one or two of the people who are not stand-ups. The stand-ups, we're listening to the act, and we'll go, "That's funny. That's funny. That's funny." And it's like, never let a bunch of stand-ups sit front row at a stand-up comedian show. Not if they know him. Like,
it is kind of funny though, like from the outside looking in, just see people like tap each other on the shoulder and be like, "That was a good one.
That was a good one.
That was a good show."
Yeah. And laugh at nothing. We laugh. Yeah, golf clap. Yeah, he's good. He's good. That was good.
Be sure to tell him that was a good joke when he gets off.
Ryan Perrio still kills me. Ryan Perrio, if he gets up and does stand-up,
yeah,
I laugh. I laugh at his. Carrie Smith is she kills me. There's certain ones that whenever anything new from Tim Hawkins,
I was gonna say, like, people that are local. I mean, I hang out with a lot of people I think that are very funny, but still to this day. Like someone I'm envious of because it seems so effortless is John Barry. I think he's one of the funniest comedians in DFW.
And he can get he can get like 19 laughs in 1 minute. Because he's just a bunch of one-liners.
It's really dry and slow.
Really dry, really
it's
slow.
Very well structured.
But you think and you hear it and you're like, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's really good. And you'll end up laughing. And there's comedians who've tried to, I think, mimic his style. I mean, he's kind of what was the one that died of the drug overdose? The
which one?
Tim, was it another Tim or whatever? It's the guy I forget his name, wore the blue glasses.
Around here?
No. Combed his hair down the middle, wore the blue glasses, died probably in the 90s. I don't know, maybe mid 2000s and stuff.
I don't know.
God, we're thinking of it, but he's the one you get up there and he goes, I don't have a girlfriend, but I do know a girl that would be very mad that I just said that.
Oh,
he's like,
Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg.
Oh yeah, he was.
It's kind of John kind of reminds me of him. Sans the drugs, I mean, Mitch.
Yeah.
What made Mitch Hedberg funny is what killed Mitch Hedberg in the end was the drugs that he did. But did you want to play another one for us? What you got?
Sure, why not? All right, this song, I'm in the studio with this song right now. Actually, I do believe that Bronson Lewis is going to sing this with me and record this with me.
Name drop, shameless name drop, Bronson.
You're welcome, Bronson. This is actually written to be a duet with a man singing to a woman at first, and the woman sings to the man in response. And the theme of the song is they both think they're such awful people. They can't understand why the other one loves them. But the other one's like, but I just do. I just love you. So this is called How Could You Love Me? I drink too much and I've been known to smoke. Sometimes I hurt your feelings when I make a joke. Sometimes you needed me when you were falling apart. But I was too caught up in myself to notice your broken heart. How could you love a man like me? How could you let me make you mine? How could you keep this thing going all the while knowing I'm gonna let you down 100 more times? How could you love me? How could you love me?
Awesome. Love it.
Thank you.
Can we talk about
Thank you.
This leg and this arm both literally have chills. That was really good. You hit some of those notes, and I'm just like,
right.
It's one of my favorite songs.
So
we're in the room with you. I'm adjusting the sound, because you get louder when you sing than you are when you talk. And so I'm adjusting the sound. But for me, I'm just like same way. It's blowing you away. Down at Hoots one night, you mentioned Hoots with your dad. And so we were at Hoots one night and it was Christmas time. And I usually don't do this, but I've got to plug this part of the story. The guy who went up to sing was like a 5'7", very young black guy in urban clothes. Now, Hoots is a redneck bar. So you'd fit right in. Troy, you're fine. I'm fine. You're fine. You walk in there and you see some cowboys, different races or whatever, in there. But this guy, he really stuck out like a sore thumb. And, he's going up there for karaoke. And I'm like, what's he going to sing? And, this is going to be interesting to hear boy, was I right. I hit that one on the head. He got up there and sang like one of those Christmas songs, like I don't even remember what it was, but it was like, I think people got saved. I think people went up there and confessed.
Church.
Yeah, it turned into church. I'm like, dude, I've got goosebumps
like
on top of my
Crosby
goosebumps.
Type.
Yeah, and it was just amazing. It was like Oh Holy Night or something, and it was a beautiful voice, like an angel or something. Like Amy Grant and Vince Gill got up there and sang it together or something, and it was amazing, and you're like, holy crap, dude, how do you not have a recording contract,
Man, there was a guy, his name is Tony. He did the karaoke at Hoots for years and years.
Tony.
You know Tony?
Oh, I've known not too long, but yes, I've known Tony for 20 something plus years. He's actually a really good friend of mine.
Yeah, he's a great dude.
He's one of the first
he
people I
does-
met around in Burleson.
Now, yeah, he does that one off of Magnolia. I can't remember the name of the place, but I've run into him a couple times over there.
I love it. That's awesome.
He's actually you talking Tony karaoke or
Tony Yoki?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually
That's it.
trying to work on him coming out and doing some Saturdays and some other nights out at Hilltop.
He's the best, dude, and he
Absolutely.
knows how to work a crowd. Like he gets people
Oh, yeah.
jazzed up.
Oh yeah, that's the best. And you as an artist,
Free plug for you, Tony.
Yeah, Tony Oki, you better buy us a beer or something at
Fireball.
least, right? Fireball.
Fireball.
For Amber, it's Fireball. In case y'all don't know, it says across her neck in a necklace, Fireball.
It does.
That's her brand.
right there.
It's always there, ready for everyone to see, right? I'm kind of upset you didn't wear the snorkel today. You know, that was funny. She had that picture,
Absolutely.
her in the store. I was like, she's not going to wear that to the show, is she? It's gonna be kind of hard to talk.
Maybe if
you
we
know?
were on TV.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll be on YouTube.
I'm sure it would be appropriate.
Get to see somewhere on there, right? All right. So we've got the Hilltop Barn coming up for you. What else you got after Hilltop Barn?
I've got that's this Saturday.
Mhm.
The following Friday, that's going to be the 16th of February. I will be at the fabulous Farinas in downtown Grapevine, there on historic Main Street, with an amazing guitar player, Jason Cartmell.
Mhm.
Actually, this Saturday at Hilltop, my good friend and guitar player Stephen Young is going to be there with me. We together our duet. We're called Hot Mess.
Mhm.
I say it's because he's hot and I'm a mess, and so
Mhm.
and then I'm going on a cruise. When I come back, I will be Thursday night out in Weatherford, right on the square at Fire Oak Grill. Thursday
Right.
night. Yeah. So that's what I got in February.
You ever seen on Yellowstone when they talk about barrel racers, and all the guys are like, "Oh, barrel racers, and they do that. Well, it's always
It's
funny.
true.
But it's funny when you talk with artists. We're like, well, who is that? And they go, oh, he's a lead guitarist. And whenever they say lead guitarist, you're like, oh, okay. And I'm not, I don't know your guitar player. I mean, I don't know your guitarist, but I know a lot of them, and some of mine are really good friends of mine. And I'm like, dude, you are great until you have that guitar in your hand. And if you have that guitar in your hand, you better be up on a stage, because if you're anywhere near me, I want to throw you off the planet. I'm like, let me show you this. Let me show you this. I'm going to show you. And I'm like, I know nothing of the guitar. I think it's the key of C is the middle finger. I think is it, right? Or G or something like that. When you do it, it looks like you're shooting the bird. That's it. That's the only one I know. It's like I don't know anything about musical instruments other than the trombone I played for a split second when I was a kid.
I don't know why that makes so much sense, but it makes sense to me.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't it? I have no musical talents. It's only the microphone. That is it. My mom played the piano plays the piano and plays the accordion of all things. And she's not funny. It's not funny. It's not Judy Tenuta type stuff. Or I always thought everybody that played the accordion would be real fun after Weird Al and stuff.
Yeah,
but-
he really set the bar. He set the bar pretty high.
right. And Judy Tenuta with her cheerleader got a gun, or the prom queen got a gun, right? Type thing. All right. Anybody got anything else before we go? You got the Hilltop Barn.
Yes.
It's $5 tickets.
Mhm.
Cynthia has posted it on the feed. Anyone wants to know, make sure you're there. She's posted all the comedians that are going to be there. Local comics that are listening. You need to come to this show and network with Cynthia. Like he said already, we got Trinity King come out there, and next thing you know, she's up on the stage.
Right.
Anything can happen at these shows. It's a lot of fun. Amber's going to be up there singing. It's going to be awesome. Thank you guys for coming in. I
Thanks for having
appreciate it.
us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a good show. You
Yeah,
guys are
thanks for
great.
having us, man.
All right, man. We're out.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, JoCo Community Radio.